So tell me a bit of the history, Eric.
Well, it was in the garage at Torrington and it was painted army green. And I thought, might have been an army car. I tracked down the owner who lived over at Northam, and by this time we'd agreed a price. And I said, by the way, was it an army vehicle of any sort? He said, no. He said, I just happened to have a tin of army paint, which was a bit of a letdown, but so it was going to be a retirement project. But as you know, still working, not retired yet.
So how long ago was this that you saw it?
1990.
And what made you want to buy it?
Oh, I've always wanted one. My grandfather had one, and probably in the late 40s, outside Newbury, between Newbury and Woodchurch and Winchester, there's a huge hill called Beacon Hill, and he lived on a farm called Down Farm, and we went there on the bus, my mother and I, and younger brother, I suppose he was born by then. And as soon as we got there, he said, would you like to have a ride in the Austin 7? And he had it was a 20s chummy, top down, brilliant. And we whistled up and whistled back down, and it was called White Chute because it was all chalky all around. And I was hooked. And I had an uncle that used to buy them, if he had to buy them, for £1. After the war you couldn't give them away almost, and he used to do them up and sell them for £5.
Tidy profit.
And out of that he bought an Austin A40 Somerset.
So what's the plan with this then?
Oh, this is going to be done up properly, all put back together, and there isn't a great deal to put back together. As you can see, there's the bonnet, there are 2 side panels up there, that's the scuttle it's called, which goes not far away from where it's sitting now. And then it'll be on the market, basically. You can see here, there was a lot of brass. The radiator surround should really have been chromed. Well, it was once upon a time, and someone in their wisdom in the past rubbed it all off down to brass. So that was brass. These because it's a special, you can basically do anything with it. These are actually motorcycle mudguards, and you see the fluted end there. On a motorbike that would be at the bottom, but they've just reversed them, and obviously one the other side as well. This bar I had put on, Paul Richter, or one of his guys down at his workshop, did that some years ago, and then Sue actually drove it, not with the engine going because she doesn't have a license, but she was on a straight tow bar, and I towed her up from his workshop down at Wamford, up, and it was in, if you remember the Bunbys, Auntie Bun we called her, and I changed the army green to red, and then subsequently, this has all been done in the last week or two. The centre there, the honeycomb, was red. I sprayed this black. I did this by hand. That I'm going to change possibly to red again, I think. I made a 7 cut out and sprayed that. And my daughter has an uncle called Uncle Terry, who lives up in Newbury, and he actually cut that out with a fret saw. The backing of which is like so, and I sprayed that white, which shows up quite well on the red. And I did consider having a special Austin 7 special, would have gone over there, but I've changed my mind on that, I think, and somewhere I've got an AA badge, which I will probably put in the centre at the bottom there. The other thing I've done is taken the spark plugs out, and there is here it is over here. Older people will remember these. It's called a starting handle, and that goes in there. And with the spark plugs out, I turned it over this afternoon for the first time. It's had WD-40 sitting in it, I sprayed WD-40 in each of the pots and then some engine oil, and it turned over easily. And here we go. Headlamps underneath the masking. This has been sprayed black, that was also brass, and then this I rubbed back down to get rid of the verdigris or whatever it's called on the brass, and that's going to be red. It is red, as you can see, and then that will all get put back together.
Like a giant jigsaw.
It almost is like a giant jigsaw.
So what's the timescale now?
As and when. Had it for 34 years, you know, there's not really a hurry, is there?